Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Start with this one. Last week, we did close for the first time above the 178.67 2.5-year channel top by the required 1% margin. The 1% zone is still valid as an area to buy into. We have yet to actually fall back to 178.67, the actual number itself. We came very close yesterday to doing so, but 180.45 as we look ahead, assuming we continue moving north from here, will be considered kind of the beginning of a range down to 178.67 that can be bought as we move through September and into October. We do now have a 2 to 3 month objective at 219.64, so long as we continue placing weekly settlements above 178.67. I do want to mention that the triple Q has yet to close above, and that is also the NASDAQ 100, its respective 2.5-year channel top. Definitely testing it, has yet to close above it, and I'm just to sort of encouraging you to go to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll have those exact numbers available to you. You'll be able to see that if you're long right now in Nvidia, you have sort of an underscoring or a confirmation of that buy signal if the triple Q and NASDAQ 100 can both close above their respective 2.5-year channel tops this week. Without that, there is a reason to consider the possibility of a head fake to the upside. In other words, going long above 178.67 only to come falling back to close below it, which would be a sell signal unto itself. I'll get there in a minute, but for right now, let's continue with the upside. Use the daily chart. We do have 186.39 as a 1.5 point wave count. Intraday resistance only. 178.88 is on the daily chart. What we find on that weekly chart I just showed at 178.67. And so there are these little levels on the way up. I still like 183.30. It is this high, this lone high from a couple of weeks ago. We've definitely been pushing through it for the last week, but not closing above it. Our high settlement price all time was put out on Tuesday of 183.16. So once again, I'm just rounding up to 183.30, that if we close above 183.30, that is a buy signal unto itself. You've got 186.39 that could be reached. I may actually reduce this to a minor point only in the coming days, because I think the real upside continuation factor right now is above 183.30. Closing today above this lone high here from a couple of weeks ago should then yield over the next, over the following, could be 3 to 5 days by the end of next week, this 191.19 rising channel top. And this has been considered a 3 to 5 day target for almost 2 weeks now, when we first closed on the daily chart above the 178.88 formation. And it's now considered kind of a 1 to 2 week objective, 191.19 and climbing. In fact, I can point to this chart in terms of 202.73. This is a 4-month rising channel top that becomes a 2 to 3 week objective if we close above 191.19. But I've already mapped out 219.64 as what I think is a realistic 2 to 3 month objective above 178.67. So I think that covers the upside pretty well. Let's talk downside right now. We have these rising channel bottoms, 175.45 in reach today. And I'm going to use 178.67 to the far right. That is the weekly version of this daily channel top. So breaking 178.67 signals 175.45. And, closing today below 178.67, I think is a go with sell signal. It's certainly a go with sell signal if we close the week tomorrow below 178.67. But I think even closing below it today for a couple of reasons. One is it would be below this consolidation that's played out for the last week of activity, where we've come close to testing it. And I think if we close below 178.67, let me put it this way. If you're long, I think you should exit your long position in anticipation then of this horizontal structure at 172.22.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and Nvidia, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
So, if you want to stay long, fine. Just know that if we close below 178.67, and when I say if you want to stay long, fine, I am talking to longer term position traders, those who've entered a long position last week when we closed above the 178.67 formation, anticipating 219.64. The question is, where do you get shaken out of that long position? It could just be a weekly settlement tomorrow below 178.67. I think that is signal enough, but if you want a sell signal on weakness for both exiting a long position you may have established over the last week and also playing the short side as we move into September, October, it would be a settlement below 172.22. So 3 to 5 day sell signal, 3 to 5 day swing traders can play the short side with a settlement today below 178.67. On the way down, 175.45 is definitely there for day traders. You can trade this level, but know that if we close today, Thursday, below 178.67 over the next 3 to 5 days, by the end of next week, we can test 172.22. If we close today below 178.67, I think chances are great that we will also close tomorrow, Friday, below 178.67. And that settlement, closing back below 178.67, will keep 149.53 in reach over the next 2 to 3 months. This is, the rejection of a long-term buy signal is, in essence, a valid longer-term sell signal. 149.53, I will begin speaking of as a 2 to 3 month downside target if we close back below 178.67. And on the way down, if we also then close below 172.22, this could be a 3 to 5 week collapse. 165.45 is an extreme rising channel bottom, still respected for its containment ability, but just know that over the next 2 weeks, I think the date is August 27th, all things being equal, if we don't continue higher and we continue muddling around in this area, they do converge entirely into a single point. So this will be considered a range eventually, but we'll just kind of see where things play out from there. So I don't know if I've said it all correctly. I've said it all thoroughly. I've said it correctly. Make no mistake about that. The question is whether I've said it. I've said enough. And I'm just looking at these charts right now, trying to think what scenario have I not covered. Just once again, a settlement today below 178.67, 3 to 5 day sell signal down to the 172.22 level. If we also close tomorrow, the week itself, below 178.67, you can begin skewing toward the downside, because under that scenario, the QQQ and NASDAQ 100 will certainly not have closed above their 2.5-year channel tops. They will have held the broader market in place to the upside. And Nvidia, rather than the tail wagging the dog, if you will, I've mentioned how this buy signal in Nvidia just might drag the indexes themselves into the buy column here, over the next week or two. That is possible. But, if the Nvidia falls back and closes below 178.67, it is the dog wagging the tail. It is the broader indexes having its way with Nvidia. So I hope that all made sense. I hope you like the analogy. And I am going to leave it at that for Thursday's Daily Nvidia Report. You have a great day.